Gesture drawing. Our next mode of drawing is gesture drawing. It is a quick and spontaneous way of getting information down on the page. Usually used in figure drawing, gesture drawing tries to capture action quickly. A gesture drawing may be as quick as 10 seconds or may be sustained for many minutes. So the goal is to get some essence of a pose down immediately, and then develop it if you have time. As you can anticipate, this is very useful when you don't know how long your subject will be there. In a lot of ways, gesture is the opposite of contour drawing. It is fast and spontaneous. It is general, dealing with the biggest things first. It starts on the interior or core of the subject rather than the exterior edges. It deals with a different kind of feeling, the emotion of the pose, rather than touch. And most importantly, it involves seeing the whole rather than the detail. In gesture drawing, you may not see those familiar characteristics that we usually look for, like eyes, mouth, or even hand. You may not even see the human figure at all, but you might feel its energy in an abstract mark. And while it is generally used for the human figure, the gestural approach can be extended to other subjects as well. Even an architect like Frank Gehry starts with gesture drawing to come up with quick sketches. These rough ideas sustain their dynamic energy through construction to the finished product. To watch a gesture drawing develop over time, you should see the whole pose almost immediately. At the left is a 15-second drawing, next a 30-second one, then a 1-minute, and then a 2-minute drawing. If you were to stop at any time, you should have a resolved drawing. In drawing the human figure, we can be thinking about the figure as the core outward. First, the bones, then the muscles, then the nervous system, blood flow, etc. We might relate to the model and feel the strain in certain areas. Here the hands and feet are emphasized as points of contact. Rather than enclosing the figure in an outline, this figure is free to move. In some places, the paper bleeds into the figure. So how do we start to draw the human figure gesturally? If we're used to looking for outlines, we may be confused. Look for the overall curve of the pose and try to replicate it or even exaggerate it in one fluid mark. Keep your lines curved so that they look alive. Boom, done. 5-second gesture drawing. But if we have more time, we can look at a couple of other key elements. Staying with curved lines, let's draw a line to represent the hips, and another to show the relationship between the shoulders. Then let's connect them with a line that represents the backbone. Continue with curved lines that represent the other major bone of the body. The arms, the legs, the skull. You might be thinking stick figure, but the hips and shoulders keep it from being too much like a stick figure, and the curved lines keep it lively. If more time is available, you might go on to block in the major muscle masses, starting with the pelvis and the rib cage, then the thighs, calves, shoulders, upper arms, lower arms, and skull. But that's feeling a bit stiff. Let me see if I can loosen it up a little bit more because this is such an energized pose. There, that's better. Looser and more fluid. I feel like this captures more of the essence. So let's look at a few more basic concepts. As your drawing is being developed, you should always be thinking about a center of balance. Does your figure feel like it will fall over? It's up to you to keep it balanced. Think of the gravity. A little knowledge of proportion will come in very handy. The two biggest problems are making the head too big. It should be about 1/8 of the overall height, and making the legs too short. The foot to crotch measurement should be about half the total height. There are a lot of fun variations in gesture drawing. The scribble gesture is really energetic. Just keep your hand moving faster than your brain can go. In mass gesture, you block in the weight and tension of the figure. The figure gets dark, but not where the shadows are hitting, rather where there is weight and mass. can use a combination of approaches even when one drawing. This kind of flow from one approach to another can be tricky to pull off, but look at how the artist has kept an overall sense of unity in this piece. Here, mass gesture is combined with line and focusing on some parts of the pose while leaving others entirely empty. You can even draw sequential poses right on top of one another to create a sense of animation and movement. And gesture need not be about drawing something at all. It can just be an abstract record of your body movement. The possibilities are endless. Most importantly, because it's so quick, you can make a lot of gesture drawings in a short amount of time. They won't all be great, especially in the beginning, but as a famous artist once said, you've got to make 1,000 bad drawings before they start getting good. It's best to get them out of the way quickly. Have fun with it.